Hello, check, check. Happy Saturday, people. I am just coming on to check my mic. Mic check. And let's see. Um, just uh, texting one of my mods. And like I said, I'm just coming on to check my mic. It's my birthday. I'm 58 years young. I got my braces to prove that I'm really just a teenager, right? So I'm excited. I think this mic is better than the one I had yesterday. Or was it yesterday or the day before? I had just bought a new mic and it seemed like it was pretty crappy when I tried to listen to my video to reflect upon it. Hopefully this one's better. My husband picked this one out on the internet and said it was really high quality and he got a good deal on it. So other than the whistle when I speak because of these effing braces, I'm going to bet you that it works better. And I got a dog trying to bust in my door. I don't see anybody here yet, but I will go ahead and ask, how are you guys doing? Man, there is like a summit planned for the 15th. Is that a week from yesterday? I think they're calling it a summit. McKinkles and Vladdy are planning to meet in Alaska. And what did McKinkles say? Something like swap territories. Is he trying to give Vladdy Alaska? Like, that was the first place my brain went. I was just like, dear God, no. But I wouldn't put anything past him. Is that Anna B? Somebody's here. I'm so excited I just bit my tongue. So I thought, I'm probably the only one thinking like this, me and my crazy brain. And then, of course, my dear Hal Sparks, I watched him today, and he's already saying the exact same thing. And I don't think he stole my idea since I only had it in my brain. I actually said it to my husband. And I hadn't said it on my live yet. And I didn't even know if I would. It is you, Anna Bees. It's me, LOL. So, yeah, you've seen me with my braces, right? Like, they're not so bad on the top because they're tooth color. The bottom are metal, so they're pretty hideous looking, like that character Jaws in, what was that movie, Silver Streak, with Mel Brooks and Richard Pryor? Am I hitting it right? The guy who was married to Gilbert Radner and the guy who set himself on fire, and then the big gross guy with the metal teeth who then did a bunch of Bond movies. I feel like him with these freaking braces. The worst thing is I bite my tongue sometimes, especially when I'm talking, but I don't even have to be talking for it to happen. And I've decided I'm just going to go on a liquid diet until they're done because eating is ridiculous. It's so hard. Yes, I saw you. Hope you get used to them soon. Well, I hope so too. I don't think they're ripping up my mouth on the inside quite as bad, but it is just rough to speak. And I'm not going to give up speaking. I'm not talking to people unnecessarily. I'm kind of saving all of my talking for being on YouTube because that's the one thing I can't give up. So even if I have to draw you pictures and just show you my little stick figures, I'll learn sign language. I used to know sign language when I was 7. My dad worked at Gallaudet College. Believe it or not, he had a really good job at Gallaudet College when I was 7, and we learned sign language, and that was really cool. Anyway, Gallaudet's in DC. So, for anybody who doesn't know, and it's a college for the differently abled. So there's people that are deaf, dumb, and blind or in wheelchairs. I hate to say dumb, mute, right? I think deaf, dumb, and blind is outdated, just like calling Native Americans Indians. Anyway, Anna Bees, it's my birthday, my dear. So I don't know if you caught that part at the beginning. I wasn't going to come on live because the family's trying to get together to go for a little hike. But I thought, you know what? I got to test out my new mic. Richard Pryor, thank you. And Gene Wilder. Who did I say? Yeah, I think I said Richard Pryor. I didn't say Gene Wilder. I said the guy who's like a producer. Maybe he produced Frankenstein that Gene Wilder was in. Dang it. Let me see. I'm going to just see if Google will tell me. Who produced Frankenstein? Producer of Frankenstein movie. Yeah, Young Frankenstein. No. Oh, happy birthday. Yeah, I didn't say Gene Wilder. I said the other guy. Gene Wilder was the one who was married to Gilda Radner. Mel Brooks. I always get Mel Brooks and Gene Wilder confused. And Mel Brooks is a producer. I don't think he's an actor. Let's see. Mel Brooks movies. Yeah, he's a director, it looks like. Oh, he did direct Young Frankenstein. He's just not the producer, which was what I was looking for. Okay, so no wonder I get them confused. But did he star in it too? Mel Brooks starred in Young Frankenstein, right? That wasn't Gene Wilder, was it? Gene Wilder versus Mel Brooks. Okay, they did work on Young Frankenstein together, allegedly. Oh, this is so confusing. Let me see. Young Frankenstein. If only my brain would work. It's going to say that too. Let's see. Went with if only my brain would work, which is actually a good thing to attach to Young Frankenstein, huh? So it is both of them, Gene Wilder and Mel Brooks. No wonder I get them so confused. Now, I'm going to tell you a story, Annabise. I wasn't going to say it because I hate to name drop, but I've actually been in Mel Brooks's house. He wasn't home. It was just kind of a regular house in Beverly Hills. So it was not like a mansion. It was not like the Beverly Hills, Bel Air, Brentwood kind of thing. It was just a regular house, but still. I went to school with his kids and we dropped in. I was hanging out with the kids and we dropped into the house. And I am not kidding you. They had, are you ready? This is very high risk to discuss this. They had a monkey brain thawing out on the kitchen counter. So this is the weird thing about growing up in a mix of the Midwest, Los Angeles and Washington, D.C. It's a pretty wild mix, but I don't talk about Mel Brooks. I mean, I don't talk about the monkey brain that was thawing on his kitchen counter when I was, like 9 years old? Is that crazy? Are you so happy to know that story? So I remember just like stunned, like staring at it, and there was literally blood dripping off of it. And my friend, his kid, was like, yeah, it's not the first time we've had it. They said it was really good. That was like a delicacy. I'm just like, It's one of the things I'll never forget. How perfect, though, for the Young Frankenstein director, right? Crazy. See, and the thing is, with my life experience, I just have all these random little snippets of stories like that, they don't make any sense. It's not like I'm bragging. It's just curious, It's curious that people eat monkey brain. I mean, it's pretty unbelievable. And Anna B says, yes, it was Gene Wilder. So it's so funny that I've gotten those two confused my whole freaking life. There's the answer. Young Frankenstein had just probably come out that year. So it was probably right before he really started rolling in the dough. I bet they moved into a big mansion after that. I mean, they had a nice house and they had a maid who was thawing the monkey brain, and I'm sure the monkey brain wasn't cheap, right? They did a lot of movies together. Okay, cool. Thank you, Anna. I'm glad you know, because like I said, I get my wires all crossed. I don't have any good Gene Wilder stories or Gilda Radner stories, but I do have a lot of good stories. OMG, that's horrible. My husband made me watch Faces of Death in the 80s. There was a scene of them eating monkey brains. I won't say the rest. Yeah, I bet it makes you smart, right? So what is this, Anna Bees? Have you seen the freaking new South Park? So we had the brand new South Park, season 27, episode 1, 2 weeks ago. And then we had the second of season 27, episode 2, a couple days ago. Freaking brilliant. I thought the first one was really, really good. I thought the second one was a masterpiece. And then I thought, so now we're just going to have a bunch of South Parks about other stuff. And then it dawned on me, we might get an entire season of the Trumpster fire in South Park. And the one that they're working on right now, because, they only do a production every 2 weeks because it takes them that long to put it together, but they put all the current stuff in there. I'm hoping that the next one that they drop has Mick Kinkles up on the roof of the White House, because that was just insane. That was like a movie scene. So they got to put that into the South Park. They got to. But the newest South Park, like I said, I feel like that one is just a masterpiece. I think I've watched it 3 times now. It's that good. And Christy Gnome, also known as the Puppy Killer, is just like shooting up all the puppies everywhere. It's tragic, but I literally couldn't help but crack up each time. As much as I love dogs and as crazy as it is, each time she murdered a puppy, I'd just be like, oh, not again. And then I just cracking up. But the big thing that really upset her was how they kept having her face melt off. And then they'd get like a construction crew in there to like glue it back on and everything. But then it doesn't just melt off, it starts like crawling away and then it attacks somebody else's face. And oh man, she got so upset about the face thing. And I can't stand it when these Republican women come out and try to insult the Democrats for criticizing Republican women. Like, do you not realize the oxymoron that you're living in? You're part of this party that wants to take away your right to vote, put you in the kitchen barefoot, preggers, thawing monkey brains. What part of that do you not understand? And they want you to have silicone chest, silicone face, all of it. So she got very defensive about so many people referring to her Botox over injections. And I'm not sure. I have to like fact check myself on this, Anna Bees, but maybe you can help me out. She was like, it's actually baby placenta. I don't know if she said that or if that was like a comedian. I'm thinking it had to be a comedian. It would be horrible if she said it. I'll check with Google. Let me just let my dog in because she's scratching. Come on, Coco. Just you, baby. And I have a little bit of food for her so I can get her. Come here, Coco. Come here. And then I'll look up what it was I was going to look up if I don't forget what it was. Come here, Coco. Come here. Come on. Food. Can you see her? Yeah, you can see her. Look. Come here, baby. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Come on, people don't get to see you enough, Coco. And yeah, let's do the test on how the sound is if I'm like right up next to it or if I'm a little bit away. Come on, Coco. Up, up. Come on. Up. Come on, baby. See how polite she is? Not like the little ragamuffin dog. She is hilarious. She just like dive bombs onto food. Come here, baby. And Coco loves food, but she's super polite about it. I got one little bite left, okay? Should I put it down here for you? Okay. All right. So what was I looking up? I was going to look up baby placenta Christinome's face. And let's see what Google A has to say about that, which is perfect right after looking up Young Frankenstein, because, man, baby placenta Christinome's face. Oh, my God. South Dakota, we're having babies. We're the number one state in the country for the highest fertility rate because our people have hope and want to raise a family here. No, I have a feeling that their statistics are really skewed. There's hardly any people in South Dakota, and that the highest percentage of them are making babies. They probably have some financial incentive, right? I mean, just like who is it that's doing that? It's not Vance, is it? One of the freaks in the Republican Party who's giving the baby bonuses out. It's like $5,000 if you have a baby. Would that be like the stuttering money guy, Scott Bessent, the Secretary of the Treasury? Stuttering money guy, I like that better. Let's see. OMG, that's horrible. My husband made me watch Faces of Death in the 80s. There is a scene of them eating monkey brains. Okay, did I highlight that one? I don't think I've highlighted anything, have I? Let's go. Just get rolling. And I'm not going to stay on long because, like I said, we're going to go for a little hike out in the national forest, federal forest. So in case any of us want to commit crimes, it'll be really hard to have them solve because who's on first? Whose jurisdiction is it anyway? I mean, seriously, like county, state, BCI, the Ohio State Patrol, the sheriff, the city police, and then there's like that department of national parks that is like their own little national parks, FBI. I don't know what they call themselves. So Anna B says, yes, I watched it last night. The part about Christine was hilarious. And I loved the end with the Fantasy Island. I thought that was amazing. And the part with Dora the Explorer was just so effing creepy. You know, like Dora gets trafficked for anybody that hasn't seen it yet. Spoiler alert. The part of them going up to heaven to bust all the brown people in heaven was pretty freaking funny too. There are all kinds of spoiler alerts, but I'm sure everyone's seen it by now, right? I wish that made little T fat like he really is. Oh man, at the end, and when they did like the AI thing of him walking through the desert and getting naked and his big fat behind, I'm sure that's exactly what he looks like with his clothes off too. You can't unsee it, can you? That was the most hilarious part about her face melting off. Well, and that was the part she took the most offense with. And, you know, like being a puppy killer, that doesn't bother you? I mean, I guess not, right? I mean, she's proud of that. She's like, yeah, I'm a badass bitch. Does she not realize, like, that's the first thing that serial killers usually do is murder animals? Like, a lot of these like CEO types have that sociopathic quality. And I think a lot of people in this administration are sociopathic types and have that sociopathic psychology. They don't care about the starving babies in the world. They don't care about people not having access to medical. They don't effing care. Okay, so at the end of, I think it was a Midas Touch video. I'll put a link to it in the description. No. It's a Keith Edwards video that I watched last night. And at the last 2 minutes of this like 11-minute video, it has an AI video of all of these Republicans being their worst selves, their oligarchy selves, with their giant palace, eating chocolate cake while little babies are starving outside, basically. It's chilling, and it's so accurate, in my opinion. Oh, I didn't do my whole thing. Everything I say is simply my opinion for the sake of hoping to start a conversation, open up a discussion, learn something, be educational. All my videos are made for YouTube, and it's an infotainment platform. Actually, if I talk with an accent, it's a lot easier than talking normal with these braces. Okay, Annabees, you would just talk like this from now on. Oh, hit that like button. And make sure you're still subscribed, or if you're not subscribed, please consider hitting that button. Turn on your notification bell to ring, and share a video of mine with somebody that you think might like my channel. It looks like I got a little bit of ivy, fake ivy, blocking part of the sign, so I'll move it like that. Anyway, I feel like the studio is coming together really well, and I hope that the mic is good. I'm going to read the rest of your comments and then look at my notes and then maybe wrap up. Like I said, I was going to keep this one short today, and I just missed you so much. I don't think I did not do a conversation live yesterday. I only did my yoga video last night because, I didn't have to talk during it, and my mouth was just in utter pain. And I think it was only yesterday that I realized I'm just going to have to drink all of my meals until I learn how to eat with braces. I mean, it's crazy how tiny you have to cut stuff up. And then it's still like all up in your braces. It's absolutely disgusting. Anyway, TMI. What else was I saying about all of that? So the last video that I made was the day before yesterday. But yeah, there's so much I want to talk with you guys about. It's a beautiful thing how many Little E and Maxwell victims are speaking out with really fine legal representation and, bucking the system, bucking dear leader McKinkles. And let me give credit where I picked up the McKinkles. That's from I've Had It. Angie and Jennifer. They call him McKinkles. They call him a lot of things, but McKinkles is a good one. And again, it's like, I don't want to make fun of people that have edema, the swollen ankles from medical issues. I got a little bit of that during my first pregnancy, but the jackass just won't be honest, and he won't be real, and he's a nightmare. So he should be made fun of for everything, because he can't take it. I mean, chances are he'll just blow up the world, right? But that's one of the things that he keeps doing anyway. Like, who was it that described it? Like, they just keep crashing things. They keep blowing things up to distract from the last thing that they crashed or blew up. Like basically a really bad rebellious child. Yes. Let's see. That was the most hilarious part about her face melting off. Coco, she is too cute. Haha, Jazz. It's so terrible to know how many people are in that little T cult. It is absolutely a cult, and it is really sad. I mean, I actually understand how people get so seduced into it and think, oh, he's just a regular guy. He's just a grandpa. Oh, he loves us. Like, it is hard to believe that people can't see that he's such a narcissist. He doesn't care about anybody but himself. Nobody. Zero. Just him. I mean, he kind of cares about Vladdy. I mean, that's like his object of obsession. His secret lover, right? I even have cousins that are half Caucasian that are in the cult. You know what, Anna Bees? I have a cousin who's half Mexican. He'll say half Spanish. And his father, who's Spanish, he's completely anti-Trump. But my cousin, who's half Caucasian, is full-blown Trumpster fire. Full-blown Trumpster fire. And he's really tight with his dad, so it's a really heartbreaking situation. But that's what kills me the most, is that people don't realize how not normal that is, to have the like of one politician sever your relationship with someone, sever your relationship with your child, with your parent, with your spouse. Like, and Anna Bees, you know this as a nurse probably from psych rotations. Classic personality disorders. I can't believe I haven't said this before. This is what I need to like really hammer home. Classic personality disorders. They always split. Everywhere they go, they split the people in the room, the people in the family. They have the people that they love, the people that they hate. They have the people that walk on water and the people who are the scum of the earth. They have the people that they seduce and, you know, make love to, metaphorically speaking, and literally sometimes. And then they have the people that they destroy and want to kill, metaphorically and sometimes literally. And there's pretty much nothing in between. But that splitting is classic personality disorder. So for anybody watching in your life, if you know of somebody, and you probably do, you're probably like, oh yeah, that's like so-and-so. Wherever they go, they cause this great divide, this huge rift. You're in or you're out. It's black and white. It is crazy. And it is so unhealthy. It is so entirely unhealthy. But that's exactly what he's done with our country and with the Republicans. I mean, even the Republican Party is split. Holy crap, man. Okay. I will have to look for that Keith Edwards video. I'll put a link to it in the description, Anna Bees, with a timestamp. And I think I wrote down the timestamp. Let's see. I think I wrote it down somewhere. Maybe I have it in my notes in my phone, I bet. Yeah, it's the 8-minute, 28-second mark. But I see that Mrs. Amir is here. Enjoy your hike, Anna Bees. And then I'm sure you hit send too soon, Mrs. Amir. The cult are buying little T is being set up by the Democrats' deep state. OMG. I mean, I really do believe that the little e-files are his Achilles heel. That it's his kryptonite, basically. And it's not going to go away. Come September and the return of Congress, it ain't going away. But it is really funny how they were able to postpone or avoid making a vote by taking a recess. And then they're like up in arms, about the Democrats in Texas who left the state in efforts to avoid the whole gerrymandering thing. And then they started getting bomb threats at their hotel. So only the Republicans are allowed to flee the scene to avoid doing their work. Come on, Dems. Don't you get it? They're the entitled ones. You have to do what they say. They say jump, you say what time, how high, right? Lovely to see you, ladies. Happy Women's Day. Oh, is it Women's Day? What you talking about? Really? lurking. You crack me up, ladies. Is it Women's Day? I'm going to ask my Google. See what Google says. Is today Women's Day? Well, the International Women's Day is celebrated on the 8th of March, which I remember because that was when my mother passed away 3 years ago, was March 8th. But maybe in South Africa, it's Women's Day. Is today a women's holiday? No, it just talks about March 8th. So I don't know. Or maybe you were confused, Mrs. Amir, because we were talking about it being my birthday. And let's also honor Virginia Giuffre's birthday. And, I used to always say Virginia Giuffre, and then it sounded like the person that said Virginia Guffrey was actually in the know, like they were tighter in to her circle. So Guffrey, Virginia Roberts was her maiden name. And yeah, it blew my mind a month or so ago when I realized that we shared the same birthday. I was like, how did I miss that? How did I not notice? And it was 6 years ago tonight that little E got Epsteined, right? Celebrate that. Let's see. Vladdy has all the secrets on little T. Well, I'm sure he's got videos, the infamous P tapes, but it's a lot of it is financial because Donnie is a financial disaster. He's always broke as a joke, and he's had a lot of trouble finding people that will bail him out over the decades. And at one point, it was Vladdy's country that bailed him out. I think that was probably right around 1987, which was right around the time that he was, really bought in, basically. We'll just leave it at that. And then with interest, it's just like a credit card company. With interest, you can't ever get away from that loan, ever. Yes, narcissists and antisocial behavior types. I think they have another name for it nowadays. Well, borderline is the main term maybe that you're looking for, Anna B's borderline personality disorder. You also have histrionic personality disorder, but borderline is kind of the buzzword, I think, maybe that you're looking for. And they are government officials. That's a domestic terrorism, threatening them by a bomb threat. A lot of this crap is domestic terrorism, Anna B's. I mean, I think that the Tesla Cybertruck blowing up on New Year's Day in front of the Trump Tower in Vegas, that was domestic terrorism. The fertility clinic getting torched, domestic terrorism. These airplanes crashing all over the place. All over the place. Trying to remember if it was a South Park cartoon or something else where it was showing all the airplanes crashing into each other. It might have been like a trailer for South Park or something. It's just nuts, isn't it? But yeah, I believe that a lot of these live shooters, the people with the sharp-edged objects attacking, I believe a lot of these attacks are chaos agents and distractions. And the helicopters that crash, the airplanes that crash. I mean, of course, not all of them. You're always going to have some accidents, and you're always going to have some shooters and some people out there with knives attacking people, but it's an inordinate amount. And that's where these people don't realize that they're giving themselves away. Or Jeffrey Epstein's attorney from his sweetheart deal, Rory Black, dropping deceased. What was that? It'll be 2 weeks ago Monday, I think. He was 80 and I think he was sick, but that was really suspicious timing of him to pass away right then. And I'm so glad people are bringing up Alex Acosta a lot. Like, he should have been brought up a long time ago. He needs to go to prison, as far as I'm concerned. He needs to be tried for putting that illegal deal together. That was entirely illegal. And, I do have faith in our system that eventually all of this is going to bite all these criminals on the rear end. But I also want to be realistic. I know that sometimes I'm overly optimistic, and I don't want to be living on a pipe dream, basically. But yeah, let's go towards the winding down, because we're already past half an hour. Thanks so much for being here, you guys. And Sherry's here too. Woohoo! Lovely to see you. And let's talk about Kylie a little bit as well, because we're all the Kylie OGs that are in the chat. And yeah, we just passed the 3-year anniversary. Probably August 9th was the 3-year anniversary of when a lot of us found out. I think that was the Tuesday after she went missing on a Saturday, allegedly. She was probably already missing before that. You know how they like to throw off the timeline. That's the first thing you do, is throw off the timeline. Those first 48 hours, right? Try to just wipe those right out. Happy heavenly birthday, Virginia. Ugh. I can't believe how few people talk about the possibility of her being Epstein. To me, again, it seems so effing obvious. And it seemed obvious to me as soon as that weird post went up of her being all bruised, saying she was in a car accident. I immediately thought that it was like a hostage type of situation. Immediately. Nothing about any of it made sense. It really didn't. And people can say, yeah, she was under a lot of pressure and, brokenhearted and couldn't take it anymore. But she had already thrived and survived through so much, and she had so much to live for. But I really suspect that she was such a threat against people like Little T and that absolutely disgusting Harvard attorney that sued the pierogi guy at the farmer's market. Yeah, that lawyer from Harvard, that absolutely disgusting one that a bunch of these survivors have accused of SA. And he is so vile, and he just goes after them and sues them and threatens them. And then they retract their statements. And then he says, oh, see, I'm innocent. Clean as a whistle. And he's just such a piece of crap. He's as bad as Acosta. So, and he was Little E's attorney, I think, right there at the end. He might have been his attorney back with Ron Black, too. Is that his name, Ron Black, the one who passed away a couple weeks ago? Where'd I put my phone? It's right in my hand. Hello. I want to make sure I have his name right. Epstein's attorney, Ron Black, who died 2 weeks ago. Rory Black. Okay. Prominent Miami defense attorney. He died on July 21st. Okay, so we're coming up on 3 weeks, it seems like. Man, time flies, doesn't it? So he was part of the legal team. And then when was Dershowitz Epstein's attorney? And I think he was Ghislaine's attorney too. And was he Diddy's attorney too? So he was a member for the first criminal case. And then let's see. for little E's first criminal case. So with Roy Black, Sean Combs. Okay, he was not his attorney. He just praised his attorneys. And then, but I think Maxwell, I think he was. Let's see. But he and Virginia Guffrey had sued each other. She was suing him. He countersued. She retracted her statements and said, I must have confused him with somebody else. I may have confused him with somebody else. Ghislaine Maxwell. And so he did not represent her either, but he has publicly advocated for her to receive immunity in exchange for, I mean, it's like he's acting as her attorney right now. So that's crazy. It says he has not acted as her attorney. And then it goes on to say how he's publicly advocated for her to receive immunity in exchange for testifying before Congress, blah, 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 blah. Oh, he's such scum. He's absolutely scum. Anyway, let me set that down. Let me read your comments and then wrap it up like I keep saying I'm about to. Yes. Thank you guys again for being here. I really appreciate you. And Alex Acosta is a piece of crap. Anna B says, I agree. Alex Acosta is a criminal too. And let's talk about Kylie Rodni again before we hang it up. I agree that no one wants to talk about Virginia's unaliving being a red rum. Well, and she passed away in the exact same circumstances as RFK Jr.'s estranged wife, Mary Richardson Kennedy. The one that he screwed when she was 15 and he was 21. And then he married someone else. And then he married her, I think, 10 years later, after he'd been married for 10 years or something. But it seems like they had been having an affair the whole time since she was 15. I don't think she ever had any other significant relationships. And at one point, when they were getting married and he said that he wanted monogamy, she asked him point blank, well, then why have you been behaving the way you've behaved? To me, it indicated that he was cheating on his wife with her. Anyway, so they had 4 kids, I think, and then they were going through a very contentious custody battle. 2 years into the divorce proceedings, she, I believe, was Epsteined, and again, alone on a ranch, similar to Virginia, in my opinion. And that guy, RFK Jr., he is all over the freaking little e-files, all over those files. He's such a perv. I mean, he had a journal of all the people that he cheated on his wife with. I think he even tried to say, oh, well, she found the journal and that's why she did it. It's like, dude, quit flattering yourself. I mean, he can't stop. He's such a freaking narcissist. Let's see. We still love Kylie Rodni. Kylie Rodni did not drown. I mean, the whole thing about her drowning is so absurd. The whole freaking case around her demise is so absurd. I just don't even know what to say about it with I do want to talk about how bad Trumpster fire looks. You can see it in his face. Did you see, I think it was yesterday, where he was holding up these big poster boards with somebody, like as if he was like Vanna White. Is that the one with turning the letters on whatever that TV show was? I My brain's totally not working. I think it was Vanna White. The show with Pat Sajak. Oh my God. Come on, brain. Kickstart. More coffee. That used to be my favorite show. Vanna White. Show with Vanna White and Pat Sajak. Wheel of Fortune, damn it. Obviously, I'm sure you guys already figured that out. You probably have it in the chat. So, yeah, Trumpster Fire was acting like Vanna White, holding up these poster boards with this other guy, and then he would take them and he'd go set them down. He was just like, see, poster board says it all. Like, he wasn't using his words because he doesn't have any. And then he goes rumbling through the stack of them that he put on his Resolute desk, and he's like, this one's my favorite, this one's the best one, where it just had like a line going up. That was his erection, I think. I mean, of course he doesn't even say what it is, but you can guess that that's him making America great again, right? Anyway, it's just ludicrous. Again, I'll put a link in the description in case you missed it. But his face says it all. He looks so stressed out. He's just having a cow. I think he's committed some of the most heinous crimes, and he's so scared of being discovered. And not just being discovered and having to pay for his crimes, but the embarrassment on a global platform like he is. But if he did commit crimes like that, he deserves to burn in hell. And he deserves to be humiliated on a global platform. In my humble conspiracy theory opinion, allegedly. I can't remember the name now either. I'm glad it wasn't just me, the Wheel of Fortune. And Sherry couldn't either. Oh my God, that's so funny. Because like I said, yeah, that was my favorite game show forever and ever. Vanna White and Pat Sajak. Oh man, so funny. But so yeah, my theory about the possibility of Ms. Kylie Rodni having been exploited and abused in that most intimate and violating way, it certainly seems like she was. I know that there's people who get really upset with that suggestion, but I can't get. I'll probably use the for my thumbnail. I'll use that image of her in the yellow canoe in the Men's Journal. Like, that photograph was taken by a photographer from the Men's Journal, and it was put in the advertisement section in the back of Men's Journal magazine. That picture of Kylie Rodni as a little child, like maybe 7 or 8 years old. It's the back of her beautiful blonde head. She's alone in a yellow kayak, and they're advertising in a Men's Journal. What kind of freaking sense does that make? And I remember it was on one of Shan's videos where she was reading through the verbiage of an advertisement that the Lost Trail Lodge had. I think it was online. That really sounded like they were speaking in code and metaphor, and they weren't selling a nice quiet getaway. They were selling something else. I'll just leave it at that. Again, in my opinion, and just to try to explain, get some splaining to do, try to explain Zanime and SF Investigates and their involvement with Kylie Rodni's case. And not just their involvement with Kylie Rodni's case, but their involvement with going all over YouTube in these panel discussions. Like, why? Why would they be wasting their time doing that? They were paid, in my opinion. And then that Jazz Utah concierge, Linda, was it that was Sherry Papini's spin doctor. Let's see. Sherry Papini's PR person. Yeah, she did for the kidnapping. Let's see. Hired Linda. So oh man, did they scrub her name out of here? I'll find it. Don't worry. I'm going to find it before I wrap up, hopefully. Utah Jazz concierge hired by Sherry Papini. Wow, they did really scrub her well. It's Linda somebody. Do you guys remember Linda Luchetti? Awesome, Anna Bees. OMG. I'm going to see what Google says if I put that in here. They scrubbed her. Linda Luchetti, hired by Sherry Papini. Oh man, they totally freaking scrubbed it. Wow. Damn. That is very, very telling. I am so glad I came on live. I am so glad that we figured that out here. I got to write that down because I'll be like, what was it that I discovered at the end? Linda and Anna Bees, I'm crediting you because I wouldn't have remembered her name for a million years. Linda Luchetti scrubbed. So she was the one that showed up like on day 2 or something, maybe day 3 or 4. She showed up early in the case, and it could have been as late as day 5. It could have been as late as like August 9th. I'm sure we all remember the video of when Lindsay Rodney Neiman said, well, I didn't know how to do video. No, I didn't know how to do media. So my friend Linda came from Utah to help me out with that. So Linda Luchetti scrubbed. That scrubbing is some of our best evidence right there, you guys. Like, we're going to take that and run with it. Why the F would they scrub Linda Luchetti even from Sherry Papini's case? I'm going to be looking into that, and anybody else who wants to, please do. We'll all look into it. Again, with her connection being a concierge for Utah Jazz, professional basketball team, and we all know that professional athletes are like rock stars and they're very promiscuous. So what would a concierge do other than set them up with wholesome accommodations, right? Concierge seems like a fancy term for escort service. Oh man, my tongue, I've bit it like 4 times while talking to you guys, like literally, not biting my tongue metaphorically, biting it literally. So I'm going to sign off. And thanks again for being here, my lovely viewers. You're the best. I think it was those young group of kids just beating her up, Gammy and the boys, and the community covered it up, the parents. Right, but why in the F would Linda Luchetti come into the scene? Anna Bees. I mean, sometimes I think that, but I think that was part of it, and then I think she was transported. Not suspicious. Exactly. Why? Yeah, I love it when they scrub stuff because that is some of the best evidence. You wouldn't be scrubbing it if you weren't trying to hide something. So we made a huge discovery in this hour. Thanks again, Anna Bees. It's all due to you. And thanks everyone who's watching, whether you're on the replay crew or you're watching it live. I'm going to go celebrate my day of birth with my family. And they bought a cheesecake so I can eat it. I'll put it in a smoothie. I'll make a cheesecake smoothie. Love and light. Bye, everyone. Happy birthday. Thank you, dear. Have a great day. Don't forget to drink your water, eat your protein, and fruits and veggies, especially veggies. Love and light. Thanks again.